Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we got a good one as we're taking a look at Mr. Daniel Jeremiah's new mock draft. I was actually talking with Bengal about this. We actually did a mock draft yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, I highly suggest you do. But what's crack-a-lackin' is your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. I'm pretty sure he didn't do trades in this one, just because I know like the first couple of picks. But here, let's take a look at his notes regardless. Also, we're going to be doing... the next 2 days, you're going to get your AFC and NFC NFL team needs going into the off season. So that ought to be cool right before we get into the free agency period in what, like 2.5 weeks, something like that. But, NFL Plus, you can get a more in-depth analysis on Daniel Jeremiah's, second round. Okay, never mind. I thought he was saying second round. Okay, it is what it is. Let's go ahead. We see Jalen Carter is the first pick here for the Bears. Remember, I'm pretty confident there's no trades in this one, but I'm not projecting. It's literally the first freaking sentence. Oh, dang it, dude. Why did I do this to myself? I'm not projecting trades in a mock draft this early in the offseason, but I'll be surprised if the Bears end up holding on to the #1 overall pick. That said, I don't think they will move down beyond the range of one of the top defensive prospects. Facts. So I'm hoping to see Bryce Young here at 2 for the Houston Texans, and I do. In my opinion, the best thrower of the football in this draft. You're really the only concern you're going to be taking away from this is size. I don't know. I got something on my freaking hoodie here. I don't know what it is. Could it be coffee? Did I spill? That's good caffeine. That is high quality caffeine. Anywho, but yeah, DeMeco Ryan, it'd be smart to like go ahead and get your franchise cornerstone here at quarterback. And then DeMeco Ryan, you can do whatever the hell you want with the rest of the draft. But this one needs to be quarterback, in my opinion. Now, I know for a fact, this Cardinals pick, this is where things get crazy. Because I was talking to Bengal about this. He brought it up. Tyree Wilson over Will Anderson. Let's get into this. First edge rusher off the board, question mark? Over Will Anderson Jr.? Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy? Question mark? You don't put a question mark on the teleprompter. It'll read everything off that thing. And, yeah, what we got here? So there's a lot of love for Wilson around the league. His combination of size, length, and production has teams very intrigued. But I'll give it. Wilson's probably going to have the better size, length. I don't think he's going to test out better than Will Anderson. He doesn't have the better production than Will Anderson. Will Anderson did this in the SEC. I still weigh Will Anderson. I think this... I don't know. I know Daniel Jeremiah. So a lot of his stuff is stuff he's hearing around the league, and also maybe to pump up guys. Maybe not necessarily he thinks these guys will go in this range, but he's hearing a lot about them from the league, so he tries to use that to fill us in. This is still Will Anderson. All right, pick 4, Colts. They're grabbing Stroud or Levis. Stroud. It is Stroud. I'm really cool. I'm cool with Stroud here. I really like that because I think this doesn't need to be a rebuild. If you are the Colts, you have weapons. Like you have a solid offensive line. Like I think. Bernard Ryman, I think he'll take the next step there at left tackle. It's really that right guard position you got to figure out. Will Freeze or Fries, I don't know what it is. What it is a reserve. You need to find a right guard there. Maybe grabbing some more speed at the receiver position would be pretty dope. You look at the defense, and I mean, you could hold on to contracts like Stephon Gilmore, Kenny Moore. Some of those contracts are getting a bit more pricey. You could hold on to those and be like a respected playoff contender next year. Again, given how Stroud performs. Like, because I think he's that good, man. I do think he really do. So, I like the pick here with Stroud. I imagine the Seattle Seahawks are thrilled to get Will Anderson. So, let's go ahead and see it there. There it is. Will Anderson going to... just showed that Detroit pick. But Will Anderson going to the Seahawks. I mean, this is phenomenal. Like, typically, a lot of people here are mocking, like, most people, Tyree Wilson. I'm still kind of in the camp. I like Myles Murphy a bit better. But they're mocking edge here. If you get Will Anderson, I mean, props to you. They have, they got Nwosu. I think he's got one more year on his deal. But he's more of an edge too. You got Darrell Taylor, who's this good rotation guy, I think. And you're kind of hoping Boye and Mafia eventually can be that. Keep in mind, he was a guy that they snagged in the second round. So just because you have some guys that you can get, like, can be productive, you still want the guy, and Will Anderson has a great chance of being that. All right, so we saw Myles Murphy going to the Detroit Lions here. I still think going corner here is a fantastic option. But again, that kind of depends on, do they go after corner hardcore in free agency? But you got, I mean, pairing Myles Murphy up with Aiden Hutchinson on the outside there, and then you could kick Myles Murphy inside with Aleem McNeil, bringing on James Houston on those passing situations that have one of the scariest pass rushes on third down, on passing downs in the league. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, but I still think this. Again, a lot of this is going to depend on free agency, but I feel like corner is kind of the best value for them here. And then maybe you look at pick, like if you really want to get another edge or get a defensive interior player, like maybe look at pick 18 for that. Maybe a Lucas Van Ness drops, Brian Brazee, maybe someone emerges from the combine that just blows you away, that kind of gets into that territory. Because I don't think you could get, like, you're not going to get, I think, the same type of cornerback talent, because I don't think Devon Witherspoon, Chris Gonzalez, or Joey Porter will be there. Gojo, I swear, I'm going to let you in, and you're going to want out. Oh, let's let Gojo win. Hey, buddy. Oh, you having a good day, Gojo? All right, who do we got on tap here? Will Levis, Las Vegas Raiders. Again, I kind of anticipate them to go with not a guy that could develop and that needs like a year to sit, but maybe someone that they could kind of throw into the starting mix now, even if they go with like a Jimmy Garoppolo or I don't think they're going to go Garoppolo. I think Jacoby Brissett, makes the most sense for the Raiders. Bring him in, go into training camp with the expectation like a Will Levis, if they do end up snagging him here, is going to be the starter. But if you feel like, okay, maybe he's not ready just yet, then you can start Brissett. Brissett's very familiar with Josh McDaniel. And I said that right this time. I'm saying Mike McDaniel in my last video. All right, we got Lucas Van Ness now off the board, so edge just flies off the board here. I think the Falcons' biggest need is, in fact, edge. They could barely get any pressure whatsoever last year, and that's just going to be tough on the secondary, which I think they have promising pieces there. Doesn't mean they can't get better. Obviously, like they can't bring in better talent. I mean, I obviously try to do that, but right now, you really have nothing going in terms of pass rush. All right, Panthers go. No Anthony Richardson. It's Peter Skoronski. So, okay. We're going to have to read this one. All right, for this mock, I'm assuming the Panthers don't trade up to land a quarterback and instead going the veteran route at the position. Or instead go the veteran route at the position. Skoronski can slide inside to play guard in Carolina, team it up with Akem Ikwanu to give the Panthers 2 building blocks for the offensive line. New head coach Frank Reich knows the impact of investing heavily in the line of scrimmage, having spent time on the Eagles staff before he left for Indianapolis. All right, so my question is, I guess I'm not positive. Is Austin here? Well, I got it right here. Is Austin? This is actually what I'm gonna be using for my team needs video. Which I haven't recorded yet, but I plan to. Let's see. All right, so okay, Austin Colbert is not a free agent. Brady Christensen, are you that not impressed with Brady Christensen that you already look to move on? Because that is he said next to Kemigwanu, so I imagine this is the position here. That's interesting. Maybe not the route I would go. All right, let's see what's going on here. Devon Witherspoon, first corner off the board. I think that makes the most sense for the Eagles. I know I did Bijan in my draft yesterday, but that's, again, just kind of playing with different areas Bijan can go, and I don't think I took him that high yet. Well, I guess I did it in that mock draft. That was kind of a joke, but I think Bijan's going to be an interesting spot because I think he's going to, like, the teams that have pretty darn good offensive lines, or even teams that like to invest a lot in the offense, or not necessarily invest a lot in the offensive line, but are more run-heavy teams, will probably go after Bijan early. But I do think Devon Witherspoon is the way to go. All right, so Lawan Taylor is he's released. Makes all the sense. Everyone's been projected tackle to the Titans, and I think that's a-okay. They get Paris Johnson in this instance. Jordan Jefferson, a lot of people really like wide receiver to the Texans with this 12th pick. This is kind of a guy who not necessarily is a similar skill set or even like size to Brandon Cooks. Like Brandon Cooks, what are you? You're like 6'1". I want to say just under like 185. But you can't be that much smaller, right? 5'10", 183. Wow, he's much shorter than I thought. It's a freaking length, I guess. So that's kind of in the ballpark of Addison. Like Addison, 6 foot 175. I'm gonna be interested in how Addison measures out and weighs out at the combine. But like still, it's not like Addison's just a vertical guy. He's a very good route runner, a guy that can separate horizontally and vertically. So he brings a little bit, not necessarily more to the table, because I would say like Cooks is a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player. Bounced around the league, not like he's not a great player, but dude's a great player. All right, this is I like the Jets going O-line here, and they go Broderick Jones. Okay, good pick. I've been saying, like, I like the idea of O-line here for the Jets. I think it just makes a ton of sense. The O-line is very important to this squad, to the squad scheme, and Joe Douglas loves investing early in the trenches. New England Patriots go Christian Gonzalez. Honestly, that probably would have been my guess. I meant to like kind of like project what will go there, but oh man, I already jumped to the next pick. Jonathan Jones is a free agent. Christian Gonzalez is actually a really good fit, and he's got a lot more size than they currently have there at the corner position. Freaking first tight end off the board, Dalton Kincaid. Dude, a lot of people are starting to get hot on Kincaid. It felt like just a month ago it was Luke Musgrave. Now it's Kincaid. Kincaid's been my tight end too through this whole process. I'm still not not there yet when it comes to having Mare over Kincaid. I don't know. We'll see how Kincaid tests out. Fortunately, he couldn't participate in the Senior Bowl. As I think he was rehabbing from injury or preparing for the combine, one of the two. But tight end's kind of an easy one to project for the Packers because you want to give them more playmakers, and you know they don't draft wide receivers early, or at least in the first round. I think not since Javon Walker. I want to say that was right. Don't know if there was one in between there, but so it's like giving them tight end, just kind of like, it's kind of a cheat way to get them more playmakers. 16 is Packers. Oh, it's Washington. Didn't Withers? No, Porter's still on the board. I think Porter's a good fit there. Let's see what it is. Let's see who it is. It's Joey Porter. I think that's a good fit for Jack Del Rio's scheme. All right, so Pittsburgh. I'm going to be honest. I really think I'm pretty sold Pittsburgh's going to invest the 32nd pick, which is the first pick in the second round, on one of the tackles they really liked at the Senior Bowl. Whether it's DeJuan Jones or Darnell Wright, one of those guys that make it there. Now we see the top corners off the board. So what do you do if you're not doing tackle here and you're not doing corner? Like Brian Branch would be fun. But let's see. Maybe you bring in Drew Sanders or Trenton Simpson. So there's two options. Osiris Torrance, I think, would make sense too. I think that's all I got. Osiris Torrance, I think. Osiris Torrance, Brian Branch, or one of the linebackers. I think that's a good call. Let's see. Oh, it's Darnell Wright. Well, okay. I think this might happen at pick 32. That's so funny, man. I'm glad I at least said that, because like we did this last year with freaking Mike Tomlin at the Senior Bowl, really checking out Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. We were trying to project which one of those guys he was hot on, and the two guys this year for Tomlin was DeJuan Jones and Darnell Wright. So very interesting. All right, so pick 18, we got... I'm trying to do this by memory. 19's the Bucks, 20 is the Seahawks. So who's before the Bucks? Who's before the Bucks? Oh, it's the Detroit Lions. Really, best player available. I'm cool with whatever. So it's Anthony Richardson here. I don't know if he slides past. If he slides past here, this is kind of a good situation. You could develop him while Jared Goff is still there. So why not? Take a swing. I'm cool with that. But that sucks for the Bucks. I think the Bucks could go the veteran quarterback route, though. Let's just go ahead and see who it is. It's Bijan Robinson. I think Bijan Robinson's going to go inside the top 20. So this kind of doesn't surprise me. Now we have Jackson Smith-Njigba going to the Seahawks. So add another weapon to complement Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Jackson Smith-Njigba is a pure route runner, and we'll have a high volume target. I do like that. So I don't mind that pick here. Just helping out your quarterback. With Jackson Smith-Njigba, his test is going to be important. He thinks he can play on the outside, but of course, I mean, what else is he supposed to say? People are trying to devalue him as if he's slot only, like that's useless. Like slot's a starting position for both sides of the football in today's NFL. Cooper Kupp back in 2021 was the best receiver that year and mainly operated out of the slot. We gotta throw respect to, even if you think, oh, he might just be a slot player. Like if he has a chance to be an exceptionally high end, like really good slot player, I feel like that's still first round worthy. So Yeah, but his testing could be important. It could really help him up boards. The thing is with Jackson Smith-Njigba, don't get it twisted. Like, I've seen some, like, Justin Jefferson, like, oh, well, they thought Justin Jefferson could only be a slot. One, he tested out extraordinarily well. Really good. Also, the year prior to the championship year, he was mainly on the outside. While Jackson Smith-Njigba, over the course of his career, over 90% of the time, he's been in the slot. So, it's not the same. It's not the same. All right, 21 here. It should be the Dolphins, but Dolphins are stupid, but so it's going to be the Chargers. They go Quentin Johnston. I think Quentin Johnston's going to remind some people at the Combine why he probably should go inside the top 20. I'm a big fan of Johnston. I get it. People are like, I know a lot of people say, like, this year, like, he doesn't have that dog in him. He's not that, like, despite his size, it's just, he lacks that physicality at the catch point, doesn't really high point the football. And I don't mean to, like, mock people when I say it like that, in that voice, but I kind of do at the same time, because you go back to this 2021 film, it was kind of like a polar opposite, man. He was doing that. Like, just watch that Oklahoma game in 2021. He was dogging those corners. Like, don't tell me this guy can't be physical. It's just unfortunate we didn't really see that side of him this year. All right, pick 22. We got the Baltimore Ravens going Brian Branch. This is interesting because if you look, Kyle Hamilton actually played primarily in the slot there. So maybe you're moving stinking Kyle Hamilton to more of what we saw in the past of like Deshaun Elliott, that type of role. Then they got Marcus Williams back there. Who else is on their roster? You move Branch into the slot. Really, they got Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark's like always just this nice, steady football player. Oh yeah, they got Geno Stone. I liked him as a midday 3 option back in 2020, or Darius Washington. So it's like, I don't know what Chuck Clark's contract looks like, but I mean, maybe you just move Kyle Hamilton into that role. Oh, they also got Damarian Williams. Ooh. I mean, dude, yeah, I mean, that's a ton of versatility they have to play with. I still think they'd rather go outside corner. Oh, that's cool that they label him a corner. Can he play on the outside? Potentially. I don't think consistently. Deontay Banks is actually a good scheme fit here for the Vikings. He's probably going to be a good press man corner. Very good athlete. Just doesn't really, I don't think he has natural ball skills. Which is weird to say. Like, he takes a lot of cues from the receivers and whatnot, and doesn't really play the ball. Though I think in terms of ball skills, when the ball gets to him, he does display those skills. It's more so he doesn't really play the ball in air. He's playing the receiver. Penalties, but this dude tests out of the wazoo. Yeah, he's probably going to be up there in terms of receiver or corners, excuse me. All right, 24. What do we got? Jacksonville Jaguars, Brian Brazee, best talent on the board, honestly, at this point. Battled through adversity at Clemson. I believe the former number 1 overall recruit. Best football still ahead of him. I believe it too. I really do. And I actually really like this. All right, what do we got here for the Giants? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Osiris Torrance does make sense here. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers has been, for me, feels like such a sexy pick. At first I didn't like it because I'm like, oh man, now you're just getting more small receivers along with Wandale, and it's like, golly, that speed is scary. They go Jalen Hyatt. Oh, whoop-de-doo. I don't think Jalen Hyatt's a first rounder. I'm not in that camp. You can check out my wide receiver rankings to see what I have to say about it. I'm not going to kind of reiterate it here. I'm just going to tell you I don't think he's a first rounder. I like him as a day 2 player, I don't like him here at the back end of the first round. All right, so next is, in fact, the Cowboys. Osiris Torrance is an option. Maybe in prep for the combine, we see Mozzie Smith go here. Cowboys don't really have a big meaty space eater there. And Mozzie Smith is, like a lot of people are saying, he's going to blow up the combine. I really believe he's going to do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Maybe get another corner in here. Like, I think Ringo's a good fit. Let's see what we got going here. It's it's Keon White. It's more edge help. I mean, I get it. He's got inside-outside versatility, but man, I just got guys higher on my board, and in fact, that are more pressing needs than Keon White. All right, we got Osiris Torrance going to Buffalo Bills. Bills would be lucky as hell if Osiris Torrance made it here. Their offensive line let them down this year, and this would be a phenomenal pick. Especially like the interior kind of needs a little reworking. Probably potentially replace Spencer Brown as well. All right, pick 18 is the Bengals. Do we see a tackle go here? Or is this a tight end? It's Michael Mayer. I guess technically Michael Mayer is the top talent on the board here over a tackle. I try to big brain and be like, okay, well, looking at late round 2, what type of tackles am I going to be staring at? Because I'm going to tell y'all, man, if there's a little run on tackles at the beginning or midway through the second round, this tackle class gets thin real quick. It really does. So I get you want to replace Hayden Hurst, but is that a more pressing need than tackle? All right, 29 is the Saints. They can go wherever the hell they want. Zay Flowers, yo. They will have one of the fastest receiving cores in all of football. Now, if they can only get a quarterback. All right, pick 30. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Felix Anudike Uzama. Everyone's so shocked that I have him so low. Like, he's my edge 11. It's a really good edge class. I'm sorry. But where do I have him on my big board? I have him as like my 59th overall prospect. It's like, you're so low on him. And it's like, it's a really good freaking edge class. It really, really is. It's sorry, guys. It's kind of is. It's tough. But this is kind of probably their flavor of edge player compared to guys that are on the board like Nolan Smith, BJ Ojolari, Will McDonald. And then let's see what the Kansas City Chiefs do. Oh, they take Nolan Smith. I just mentioned him. So, yeah, bit Hassan Reddick. So he's going to be a bit more of a tweener for Steve Spagnuolo. I want to check something real quick. I'm trying to do a size comparison right now. Yeah, no. Yeah, never mind. Because, like, I've noticed, like, they use Mike Dana. They're willing to use Mike Dana as a stand-up pass rusher sometimes. But Mike Dana's 6'2", 257. That's a whopping 22 pounds bigger than Nolan Smith. So, I don't really care about Nolan Smith's weight right now because it's not going to be accurate. Him dealing with the pectoral injury. It's not going to be accurate to what his actual playing weight is. I am curious to see what his measurements are, though. See what that arm length is. But I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.